Hey guys, just figured I'd do a quick and dirty tutorial on how to build a car in in automation, and then show the export to Beamng. Uh, right now, my screen cap software is not really cooperating with the Beamng half of it, as I just had to scrap a 26-minute recording for that. Hopefully this time it'll work. So what we're gonna do is, because I have this model open, well, actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. So we will go in there, make a new trim under this one, and select the body. So I'm just going to keep it simple and just pick one of the stock body models that comes with automation instead of using one of the mods. Lawnmower is a fun mod. Let's see, so we'll go with something a little bigger than what I've done already. Let's try to make an ambulance, actually. We'll use this high top body. So we'll go with steel, do a ladder suspension, or ladder chassis, steel chassis, front longitudinal, double wishbones in the front, and a solid axle knee in the back. And you, for the engine, you either select an existing engine that you've made, clone an existing engine, or make an entirely new one. For this one, we'll just make a quick new one. You know what? Let's just go with... We'll just throw in a random name, and we will do... We'll put rescue in for the engine name. Alright, so you have options here. So you can either do an inline, which will get you up to 6 cylinders, 3, 4, 5, 6, be 60, 6, 8, or 12, 90, which is 6, 8, or 10, or a boxer, which will get you to 4 or 6. And I think for this, because it's going to be technically a cab over, we will do a boxer 6. Let's make this as big as we can, though. So the biggest volume we can. Do a cast iron block, push rod, aluminum head, cast iron crank, heavy duty forged con rods, and heavy duty cast pistons. We're not going to mess with any of this yet. We're not adding variable valve timing. We're going to keep this naturally aspirated. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll keep that natural. We'll throw a turbo on it. Twin turbo. Performance. Carburetor. Actually, we'll do injection. Mechanical. Per cylinder. Standard intake. And we'll just make this run on regular 91 run. Fuel. What is 85 run? No, 91. Alright. Short cast headers. Dual exhaust. With a two-way catalytic. Reverse flow. Because we don't want this to be super noisy. Alright, so we got knocking. So knocking is going to be either fuel or ignition. Let's see what it comes up with. Engine failed to do knock. Compression or ignition timing. So we'll bring the timing down. So apparently it's not the timing. If we add fuel, does it clear? Okay, so it clears up a little with fuel. Vicious knocking. Pistons experience high levels of RPM stress. So yeah, we're gonna bring that down to 55 or 5K. All right, running to rich. So we need to bring that down. Bring the ignition timing back. Then we'll have to play with the to rich. So we need to play with the compression, which is going to be over on the top end. So if we bring down compression, there we go. Now we're in the green. So we need to limit our RPMs until, oop, there we go. So this engine is going to run at 45,000 RPM. We'll actually bring that down so that all of these are green. So 44,000 RPM max. Exhaust, we can make that a little bigger. We'll go to 3-inch diameter, so that gets us 457 foot-pound torque at the peak at 3,400 RPM, 346 horsepower at 4,400 RPM. And we'll go to test, see how it sounds. It's nice and quiet at idle. Alright, so the exhaust is the bottleneck. So if we make the exhaust a bit bigger, we can bring the curve up. Now we're trying to make sure that red levels out a bit. Of course, if you go 8-inch diameter exhaust, you don't really have much there. If we throw a bypass valve in it, that doesn't really do much. Single exhaust gets a tiny bump up. If we take one of those to a baffled, no. Three-way catalytic will do it. High flow three-way. We got us 403 horsepower at max. I'm happy with that. So we will go now to the trim designer. Now we're going to use the high top body. Now you see how it's highlighting. That means you can actually morph those spots. So we're going to bring that forward. We'll bring the nose in. Keep that leaned back. And we will, oops. Okay, so we're going to scoot this forward if it's going to let us. Ooh, we don't want that. Okay, so bring that back. Not sure why that one won't move. So bring that back. We'll give that a slight angle. And like so. We can actually stretch that back. And we could give it some flares, which I don't really care for those usually. So we will put those in. Now we can bring the hood up if we want to do a big nose on it. Well, actually, we'll bring this a little forward. Give it a boxy Dodge look. Let's see if this will. Yeah, this one just doesn't want to play. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now we got a nice big open panel on the side. Now for paint, we're going to go to here, on car, choose, we'll do chrome for the bumpers. Because I'm not going to add fixture bumpers on this one. And for the second, it'll be, we'll do white for the hood. And for the main body, we will do white as well. Alright, so now if we go to trim paint slots, these are going to be, okay, that's all trim panels. If I collect, okay, so that's all of our window trim. So I guess we can do shiny window trim. Wheels. We're going to definitely be changing the wheels. Miscellaneous. I don't know where the miscellaneous paint's being used on this vehicle, so we're not going to mess with it. And we go to fixtures. Now we'll start with the rear. Do taillights. I've got a few mods in here. We're actually going to just stick with the standards. So we'll actually use this one. Oop, there we go. And we're going to stretch those up to fit those panels. There we go. So now that that fits that panel, now we got taillights. And we'll throw something up top. So we'll go with this. We'll throw that up here on the high top. And we'll make it wider to fit the width of the vehicle better. It gives us a nice big bar up top. And for headlights, we can we'll go with these ones. Kind of match the back ones. The utility look. And we'll put those there. We'll blow those up a bit. Bring them out to the side so that the indicator wraps around. And we can go a little bigger. Alright. And then we will go up top. I do have some mods installed for light bars here somewhere. They might be under indicators. Alright, so we'll throw in a couple of these. And then we will go to indicator, scroll up, and hey, look at that, we have a light bar. So we will take this, now it does scale uniformly, which I don't really care for that on some of these, because it does make them look cartoonish, but this one does not look too bad. Now for colors, we'll go over here. So we have some transparency we can change. So let's see if we can find a transparent red. Translucent red. There we go. That'll help with our ambulance look to have red and blue. We'll take a couple of these strobes, put them down on the grill area, or actually we'll put those on the bumper. Make them a little wider. Put a couple of them on the back. And we'll throw a little rotator on the back. There. And we'll flip that one around so it faces backwards, since it doesn't actually spin. And then we can go in here and take, well, we'll just grab a regular indicator lamps, throw a couple on there, and on there. And we'll take some of these and we'll go up there. We'll try to throw a few of these up onto that high top. We'll blow them up to look like the other strobes on an ambulance. Alright, so we'll take one of these. We'll go with a translucent red. Go with this one. We'll go translucent red. So we'll alternate them. And then we will make these bigger. Now I can't really pan because I have the hotkey for my recording software set up to be the same as the pan in this game. Hence the funky camera angles. I still need to actually change that key over. Go. So now we got strobes and they're mirrored. So now we will go over to grill and we'll throw a grill on this thing. I think a standard grid is going to look best on this. So probably we'll actually go with this one. We'll center it and then expand it and stretch. And we can go a little taller. It's not looking too bad. And now we will go over here. Fuel cap. Throw a gas door on it. I tend to put mine on the driver's side, but for this one, we'll put it on the passenger side. Since this is just a utility vehicle, essentially. Put it on there. We'll make it a little bigger to match. Alright. And then we'll go over here, we'll hit door handle. Now on the back, we're going to want to use these handles. And we'll actually rotate those. Put them there. And we'll rotate again. Let's see, we had those up top, so we're actually going to switch this the other way around. We'll make a match. Put it there. And we'll put one there. Actually, we will swap those ones for this. Put one there, rotate it. Actually, rotate it the other way because you pull the door back. And then on the front, we will swap those out for this. A little bigger. There we go. And then right below that is mirrors, and we're just going to do the big old truck mirrors. And flip it horizontally, make it a little bigger, move it just a bit. That doesn't look too bad. Gotta have that view behind you. Alright, and then we have body molding, which I don't have anything currently. We'll take an aerial, we'll these antennas. And we'll just slap it on the fender. For the wheels, we have a few options. I'm just going to go with the 4-slot steel or something similar, just to keep it with the utility look. Here we go. We'll keep those metal color. Exhaust, we have a few options here. I'm just going to do a turn down. Now we do have dual exhaust, so I'm going to be putting them both right under the bumper. I'll actually mirror that one. Bring them down just a little bit. When we do the drivetrain, it'll actually hook those up. So we're going to do a longitudinal, make this 4-wheel drive. And as you can see, now those tailpipes are actually hooked up to the exhaust. We're going to put a manual 4-speed. Top speed is 70, sounds about right. Clearance on the side of the engine is narrow. That's to be expected. Let's see if we can actually peek in here. Ooh, hello. Yeah, I'd say it's a little tight, but it's workable. For the most part, I mean, it'll work for what we're doing. Could make the engine smaller, but I don't really want to make it smaller when it's a heavy van like this. Because this is essentially an H-series body. We will put a geared limited slip in the back. Cross ply. Hard long life. Why don't you put chunky off-road on there? Not messing with any of that yet. We're going to do solid disc in the front, 2-piston, drum in the back. Aerodynamics, we're going to do a off-road skid tray, wing flaps, 3-seat bench, basic, standard infotainment. Actually, we'll do a premium sat nav. We'll do variable hydraulic steering, our power steering, ABS, advanced tents for safety. Active comfort for the springs, semi-active for the dampers. Alright, so now we have a lot of this to deal with. Wheel spin issues. Alright. So, for that, we are going to go to drivetrain and adjust our spacing until it either fixes itself or we have to make the engine smaller. I'm going to go with making the engine smaller. There we go. Alright. Car still has issues with wheel spin, but at 244 horsepower, that's not too bad. We can bring it up. Let's try messing with the wheels first, because we do have a lot of wheel issues. Let's see. Alright, so front brake force is low, brake force is low. Rear dampers are hard, so we can fix the dampers real quick. Knock those down a peg. Alright. Front tires are narrow, so we will go make the rim a little smaller so we can do a wider tire in the front. Okay, car terminally oversteers. So you don't want this. terminally oversteers. That's better. Okay, so now we gotta adjust the brake force. So we are gonna go bigger brakes. That'll get us pretty close. Okay, so rear brakes now. Yeah, rear brake is low, so we gotta go to a solid disc. And we'll do 2-piston. Alright, so wheel spin. Oops. There we go. Okay, so we want to open that up. Okay, so because it's having that issue with wheel spin, we're going to make the engine smaller a bit until that goes yellow. Now, hopefully it's going to stay in the 300 range for the horsepower, because we don't really want to go below that, in my opinion. Dial it back to 350 if we can. And then let's try messing with the spacing. Alright, so it's definitely a lot of wheel slip. So we'll go with this, bring it down more. Okay, so we'll dial it up until it has an issue and then back it down again. If it's red, you really don't want red for the wheel slip. If it's yellow, it should be, it's manageable. But if it's red, you pretty much got an impossible vehicle to drive. Alright, so let's see when it starts to complain. Okay, so it's complaining right there at 328. So if we come down to 327, we go to gearing. Alright, so the top speed's gotta be. Alright, so because we want lower, we want that at 15, we gotta bring the engine size down more. Let's see. Somewhere's here it'll go yellow, and then we can stop tweaking the motor. Apparently this van does not want a very big motor. Oh, there we go. Alright, so 146, that's where it wants to be. So we'll just put it there. Rear brake force is high. So we got steering issues again. And engine, and other small issues. So we'll bring that up. Okay, so that gets rid of the, okay, it tends to oversteer. There we go. Dampers are hard. And rear brake force. So we will take the brake force, bring that down a bit in size for the, there we go. Okay, so that is good. There we go. Except that if I go up a little more to 10, Okay. So, there we go. Alright, see if you go to testing now. Now the top speed, yeah, 70.5. Don't know how you don't really know how accurate that is until you put it into Beamng. The emergency lights mod, because they are considered indicators, they will work with your indicators, but they will really, they don't have any siren or anything. We can actually throw a siren model on this somewhere. Here I have one. That would be under, not aerial, miscellaneous, because I downloaded a fire truck mod kit, so we can actually throw a Q siren on this, and we'll just put it, we'll mount it to the grill. We can make it a bit smaller. Well, actually, you know what? We will put this on the bumper. Oh, I should just make it small. There we go. So now we have a siren. There's a few other light bars that you can use. Yeah, we could put a 4x4 logo on it, which we will. Blow that up in size. There we go. We'll throw a tow bar on the back. Maybe these paramedics want to go camping. I don't really know how well this thing's going to tow. We'll make that a little bigger. A little bit of a knee wrecker for guys coming out of the back. And there we go. Now, one of the other nice things about the suspension, you can actually adjust ride height. That might be a little excessive, but you can toy around with it. I'm just going to put a 15 on this, I think. 15-inch ride height, just to give it some clearance for off-road jobs. And now we will go to summary. Up here, we're going to put, let's see, Hurler Corp, Rescue 1. Actually, we'll put Rural Rescue on there. And we'll hit save. Because that's the name it's going to show up in Beamng with. We'll hit export. Export it, and then I will make another clip with it in Beamng in just a couple of minutes. Hopefully it cooperates this time. Apparently running both games does not seem to like going, so we'll try this. There we go, available in Beamng. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next clip with this in Beamng.